Hey, what's up, my little tattletales? Yo, sit down. We can talk later. We need to talk about what's going on with Miss Wendy Williams. As you guys know, she entered rehab, but there's more to the story. Remember that 100K that her son and Bank of America were arguing about? It looks like that might be one of the main reasons she's actually in rehab. And y'all, I'm going to put it out here right now, even though I pray I'm not right. Wendy Williams is on her way to either a conservatorship a la Britney Spears, or that guardianship is going to be made permanent. Oh, you didn't know that it's still temporary, y'all? Let's see how all these chess pieces are moving into play to get complete control of Wendy. And unfortunately, it seems like it's happening in real time. And what can we do to stop it? Y'all, sit down, strap in. I'm about to give y'all the receipts that a lot of y'all didn't know exist. And some of y'all, because you're busy living your lives, and I know I do this messiness for a living, didn't have the time to put together. It's all right. Listen, hit that like, subscribe button, and let's get into this. But y'all, this is deep, this is dark, and I can't believe it's happening in plain sight. Also, don't forget, just a side, I know I gotta do housekeeping. My interview with Candy Burrs is up. Members Only Live is Friday, and my Real Housewives of Atlanta recap is up. But baby, I can't say, you gotta check out the Candy Burrs Miss Worldwide interview. All right, fine, housekeeping over. Now let's get into Miss Wendy and how, welcome to Hollywood. All right, exclusive details. Wendy Williams is in rehab. Troubled talk show host seeking treatment for overall health and reports of alcohol dependency. Okay, let me just say this, right? Because this is something that needs to be said. I think this is set up for Wendy to go into a conservatorship. I know I said it a moment ago, but I can't say, actually, let me get to the article so y'all know what I'm talking about. All right, are y'all ready for this? Wendy Williams is seeking help. The embattled television personality has entered rehab months after losing her talk show. Radar Online exclusively can report. They say Wendy 58 recently checked into a wellness facility to manage her overall health issues. Her publicist, Sean Zonetti, I believe that's the jeweler, that's her manager, confirmed on Wednesday. She did not mention anything about Wendy's rumored alcohol dependency issues. She's taking some time to focus on her health and wellness as she prepares for a major comeback for the next level in her career of the Wendy Williams Experience podcast. Now, Wendy's rehab team includes some of the best doctors in the world. We ask for your prayers and well wishes during this time. Now, let me actually say something, and this has to be broken down. This is a setup if I ever saw one. But you know what? Let's actually connect the pieces. Now, if you guys, I know you guys are out living your lives and you're like, girl, your job is to connect the pieces. So I will. For one, we need to actually look at the elephant in the room. Wendy's son literally said that they froze all of her accounts. Wendy said they froze all the accounts. Wendy has employees working for her right now that her her temporary guardian refuses to pay, right? Or for whatever reason, they're not paying. There's a lot of people working for free. Wendy's Amex cards X'd out. Wendy's son seems to allude at the fact that they're not even actually paying for him anymore. Now, before y'all say, oh my God, he's a son, he needs to work. He is the son of a multimillionaire celebrity. Those are the breaks. Those are the benefits for being born to people with money. Those are the benefits for actually, if your parents make a come up and have money, you are well taken care of. You're provided for. And no, you don't have to go work at McDonald's or think about how you're going to pay your rent when your mom and dad has millions in the bank. I'm sorry that upsets so many people, but those are the rules, right? They don't call it a silver spoon for nothing. Okay. So prior to that Amex card, when they were released, oh my God, her son used $100,000 in funds, and everybody was just like, what? And I was like, big deal. $100,000 over a few months with your parents' credit cards, please. You can do that in your sleep. You better go watch True Hollywood Story. But here's the thing. Wendy's son came out and said, stop the cap. I did not use that $100,000 at the club, right? I used it hiring dietitians, putting my mother on the Dr. Sebi diet, making sure her alkaline levels were good. All that $100,000 over months was so I could care for my mom and get her the medical team and the care that she needed. Because the bank froze her funds, we had no choice but to use the Amex card, right? However, the bank cut off the Amex card, and now my mom literally has no money. And they did that while the guardianship trial was going on. Now, right now, it's a temporary guardian, but the guardianship has been extended. What does that tell you? The guardian and the bank or the judge didn't look through and say, okay, well, what was for Wendy's health care? What was for this? Because Wendy is a recovered addict. Wendy does have dependency issues, and every single time her heart gets broken, she slides back down. It looks like that last time Kevin went with Miss Vegan Mac and Cheese, right? It literally it was the last thing. So what does that tell you? As far as actually moving from guardianship, where they just control Wendy's money, to moving to conservatorship, a la Britney Spears, where they shut down everything. I find it funny, not funny, haha, but funny. Interesting. That Wendy is not allowed to use money for medical care, but there's money for rehab. Right? I find it odd that Wendy's son couldn't use her Amex to go get her nutritious food, hire a dietitian, hire a cook, hire doctors that are into holistic care, and say what you want about that. Wendy looked better than ever when she was down in Florida, away from New York, when her son was dedicating all his time outside of going to college to taking care of his mom. I find it funny how all that has been stopped because they starved it. There's no money to pay anyone, and any access she had to actually be healthy. This is what I get my opinion from what I'm reading online. If you don't believe me, go do your own research. This is my opinion, right? My opinion. But I am saying this. What's next? Now in your rehab, Wendy doesn't have money to pay for nutritious food and holistic healing and all these doctors that can actually, but you got money to go catch a cab and go get vodka. Now listen, Wendy, and again, I don't want to hear anybody in my comments being like, Wendy deserved it. This is karma. Baby, you're talking about karma for people in Hollywood, because I dare you, I challenge you in my comments right now. Give me one person's name of a celebrity you like, don't like, admire, don't admire, respect or don't respect. I don't care. Give me one name of anybody that's in Hollywood that don't got some major karma coming their way. And I'm being dead serious. Everybody like to talk about karma, right? Everybody likes to talk about karma. But when we get into that Hollywood thing, what people do for money, show me someone whose hands without sin. And that goes for your fave too. Well, maybe. I'm not saying all faves, but you know what I'm saying. So stop with that karma mess, because everybody lives in that glass house called Hollywood, power, money, success. Everybody. But getting back to Miss Wendy Williams. So let's go on what happened. They literally took control of her money. That means that even if she wants to go on a vacation to get away from it all, buy a house to get away from the prying eyes, do whatever she needs to do, the guardian needs to give her permission. And right now the guardian wasn't giving her any permission. That's why she had to move back to New York, where paparazzi were staked out on her house so they could sit there and catch her slipping any single time, right? If you think that this is all a setup, it looks like things are falling into place. Now all of a sudden, because she doesn't have money to hire a sober coach, she doesn't have money to hire a team of doctors that can help her holistically deal with her cravings. She doesn't have money to hire a psychiatrist because they're holding those purse strings, to hire a psychiatrist, therapist, maybe alternative psych meds, psychological, what am I trying to say? You know what I'm saying? Alternative psychological, you know what? I'll just give up because I think I'm trying to make an analogy, but alternatives to medicated psychological ways that you can deal with your fluctuating emotions and that heaviness that a lot of people that suffer from addiction have to deal with. Now that you've cut off all that, and she resorted to the bottle, and it's been captured, right? And don't forget that guardianship is temporary, but they're trying to make it permanent. And it looks like that guardian is her old manager, the one that she fired. But he looked at Wendy and said, baby, I ain't going nowhere, right? Now all of a sudden that we're getting to that, now she can go to rehab. There ain't money to stay sober, but there's money for rehab. You guys, keep an eye on this field. Whitney, why do I keep calling her Whitney, but it's sad like Whitney. Wendy is going to be in a conservatorship very, very soon if this does not stop. And watch your eye on this, because again, I hope I'm wrong and I don't even want to put it out in the universe, but I will say, keep an eye on this, because I feel like once Wendy is in a complete conservatorship and or that guardianship of her money is made permanent, watch how then Wendy's podcast comes out and it's so expertly produced and all those things. I do hope that this story gets better, because it seems like it's spiraling and it's getting worse and worse and worse. You guys, you guys, thoughts and prayers to Wendy. Thoughts and prayers for anybody that's dealing with addiction. I'll say it once and I'll say it twice. Wendy was not an angel, and every person needs to be accountable for their own sins. But Wendy did not commit war crimes. Can we literally just pray she gets well enough so then y'all can have y'all stab at her and beat her up like a piñata? But until then, can we actually get her like well enough? Because right now, Anyway, my little tattletales, let me know what you think in the comments, and I will talk to you later. Bye.